Viewers, welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates morning show. We are chatting at this time with Ajay Alleyne, Public Relations Officer, Keenan Bonacord, Crown Point Community Council. Very young guy he is. And this morning, viewers, our focus is on the CBC Community Health Fair and the Lunar Games. Good morning and welcome to
Good
you.
morning, Auntie Rhea. And good morning to Tobago.
Now, I know some of you out there saying Ajay Alleyne. You probably know this name, yeah, but always commenting on the live, always commenting on the live, and really valid contributions at it. So let's start this morning. We've got the community health fair that's coming up,
Yeah.
and tell us the purpose. Why now? Why do you feel the need to have this community health fair?
So what had happened to us as a committee early in the year, we started off the year by going to God. I think Ms. Potts was here earlier when we had our community prayer. And following that, when we met again as a committee, we found that a number of our villagers were dying of non-communicable diseases and lifestyle diseases. And this is one of our way of telling them, come out and know your numbers. We value you enough to bring these services or to put systems in place where we bring these services to you.
Instead of fighting to get you to the services.
Lovely. So we bring it a lot closer, making it a lot more accessible. So we encourage persons to come out, know your numbers, get the necessary information. Yes, it might be a little challenging or painful to know the truth, but it's better to know and to treat with those problems than having to wait far down along the road when it's out of control.
Yeah. I always believe early detection is the best protection. So according to Ajay, when you know your numbers, you know how to move when you got the information. All right, so when is all of this taking place? And you'll give us an idea of some of the services that will be offered on that day.
Okay, so for us, this is what we call our bumper weekend. So it's 2 activities back to back. So the health fair is on Friday from 10 a.m. So we have the usually BMI testing would be done, blood sugar, HIV and AIDS testing. Yes, young people, HIV and AIDS testing.
Still out there. I think, we've shifted so much, Ajay, that we focus so much on the non-communicable diseases. We've shifted and we focus so much on COVID-19 that a lot of people don't realize that HIV and AIDS is still out there.
Yes, so we'll be doing testing in those areas, as well as some of the sexually transmitted diseases, along with the basic services. But I must thank the Tobago Regional Health Authority. When we sent them the email and the interest, they took the opportunity and they ran with it very quickly. And when we felt to pull back or to scale down, they were the ones driving us to continue and to push, as well as Penny Saver Supermarket. They are the flagship sponsor for the health fair. So they came on board, supported us 100%. And surprisingly, a supermarket is supporting health and healthy living. So we must give much commendations to Penny Saver Supermarket for supporting this initiative.
Indeed. I notice here as well that there is going to be mental lectures as well. And tell us about those lectures, because you don't often hear of lectures at a health fair. You hear more about the services, but not so much so the information.
What had happened was during the year, last year, we had a number of suicides in our area, as well as we saw where a number of family members were chopping up and were unfortunately taking the lives of other family members. And it was painful for us as a council to see that happening within our very own community. So to wake up on a Saturday morning to be seen at Belgrove Hills, couple distance away from your house, was a very, very unsightly thing. So we want to address some of these issues, particularly among the males in our community. So we can ask for them to be a part of these lectures. Nothing is wrong as a man with crying. I'm not saying donkey long tears over, but being able to treat with your emotions and treat with it sufficiently and effectively is critical in this era.
No, I hear what you're saying. You said amongst the males, but we saw quite recently in Trinidad where it was a female, in this case, taking the life of her partner and herself. So it's not only amongst men, but I think people in general not being able to treat with or deal with their emotions. And it's not something we're taught to deal with. We grew up in a society, Ajay, that says if you seek mental health or mental health help or assistance, you're crazy. If you see me coming out of a psychologist or psychiatrist's office, you say, Auntie, you're having some so she going a little loco. And that's the way we were cultured. Now we realize more and more that there is nothing wrong with having a second person to talk with or a third party to talk with and be able to work through your mental health issues.
I think it's critical. There's a generational shift, and I think we need to understand that. It's no longer the hide or the stay quiet generation. So now we have to seek the assistance. Sometimes the assistance may not come from a quote-unquote professional, but your resources around you. So you may have a friend who may be seeking advice, and you may not be the person in direct need, but you can go to the session, get the information, and you may be, oh, so that's what's happening to my colleague, or that is why they're not answering my phone calls, and you could be able to trigger some help. Because I would tell my colleagues, I prefer you call me and we have a conversation, then I get a call from the Scarborough, the Crown Point police station or the prisons, and telling me to come and pay a bill. I prefer speak to you before that point in time. Let's have that conversation. Then I have to pay bill money for you. I'm being very straightforward.
This is a nice friend to have. I'm just saying, this is a nice friend to have. All right, so tell us when all of this is happening. You said it's a bumper weekend. So we've got this, and there's the other activities.
The Lunar Games. Okay, so most of the persons on this executive, this is our second term in office. And from the beginning, persons were asking, we want a village sports. But I am too young to know the details, but there was a sports held before called the Packer Rebels Sports in Canaan Bonaccord. It was a well-known, the Packer Rebels.
Packer Rebels.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would hear the stories about it and they would tell us. So the president, which is Miss Corey Roberts Sobers, decided that we have to do something this time. And they had a committee in place to treat with the issue. So they discussed the details of doing it, how it was done yesteryear, as well as doing it now, the course and all of that. And they came to the conclusion that doing it like that in this modern time, it will not be feasible as yet.
Right.
So the conclusion was we would have done the Lunar Games, where we have 8 community teams competing and 1 group from the outside. What they would be doing is we have 17 novelty events. So you will see them doing the different novelty events. And we have 4 public events for the members of the public.
Right.
But what I can tell you though is those novelty events, they are going to be really interesting. I mean, when we met with the teams and the Tobago sports marshals are the one doing the events first. And we discussed how these activities were going to happen. Auntie Rhea, I am looking forward to seeing this. I mean, I want to see the walk and wine relay.
Ajay, are you going to be leading the pack here?
No, I'm not going to be leading the pack. I'm going to be there to ensure that event goes smooth and persons have a good time. But I'm also looking forward to the entertainment and to the laughs. I mean, I have seen pensioners speak about this event. It's so enthralling.
What sort of age group are we looking at?
I mean, any and everybody we're looking at.
We're going to be looking out for you in a corner, you know.
I mean, you're looking for any and everybody. For me, what was shocking is when we met to begin to get sponsors and that kind of thing. One of the pensioners in the community came and she donated. And she told us she's come down and she's looking to be a part of the event because the community needs this. I mean, she donated all sorts of things. Sometimes when we go walking around and checking, she's the one who's going to ask, I'll do this already? Or I'll have that? And this is a retired individual. I wouldn't be surprised if I see her taking home some of the prizes and beating some of the younger folks on Saturday.
So I tell you, viewers, it's going to be quite interesting. And I'll say here, viewers, look out for Ajay. I think he's going to be in that race. Look out for him. Either that he's going to be in a corner laughing at somebody who's walking down there, walking and whining. There you see. All right. Now, is there a cost to the games?
No. There's not a cost, thanks to our sponsors, which I would make mention of shortly.
Yes.
As well as, but we would have food and drink on sale. So we're asking for you guys to come out and support. It's a non-profit organization. So we beg to basically make things happen. And we also dip deeply into our pockets to have these events. So we're asking persons to come out and support a number of food items on sale. And Bonaccord woman could cook. I know I say. They could really cook.
What is going on with, I tell you, what is going on with Ajay on set this morning? What about the Bonaccord men?
No, well, we can handle ourselves, you know, but we know our place. We know our timing. And don't be surprised if you see some of these guys actually stepping up. You might find me in that area. You may see me in the culinary area.
Okay, well, we will wait and see. But tell us, I mean, this sort of camaraderie amongst the community, what does it mean for the younger ones who are coming up? Not just the health fair and the games, but I'm listening to you speak about, you know, the link with the pensioners and the matured folks, and I'm thinking this is the type of healthy community that reminds us of Tobago.
Yeah, but I think what happened to us, our heritage production over a number of years usually would be it takes a village to raise a child.
And certainly we see that coming forward.
This for me is a continuation of it. And we're trying to get to change the face of how village councils operate. It's typically aged individuals. I know a number of persons may be shocked to see no grey hair and a young man speaking to a village council. But we want to change the dynamics
None at all.
And we want to also encourage young persons to be a little bit more involved in your community. And it's not just about the wine and jam culture. It's not about the partying culture. You know, sometimes you can have good, clean fun, and elders are fun too. Definitely. Sometimes when you sit and you interact with these elders and they give you some stories, we cannot do the things the way they would do it. And it's not a disconnect. We want to bring it a lot closer, a lot tighter together. We want to get away from this discord and this bacchanal and backward forward. Let's live in love. Let's know our neighbors and check for one another.
All right. So we want to encourage our viewers this morning to head on down on the 22nd.
And the 23rd is
and
back
the 23rd,
to back.
Back to back.
Let me just quickly mention the sponsors if I would be allowed.
And then we wrap.
Yes. We want to say thanks to Assemblyman Sonny Craig, Assemblyman Joel Sampson, Westside Electrical and Plumbing. So guys, you know what to do once in Canaan and you're having electrical issues. Westside Electricals and Plumbing, Toes, Cool Care Center, Milford 24, Charms Way, Miss Sylvia. And you remember I spoke about the food. Miss Sylvia's.
Miss Sylvia's.
Hysteria's Fashion, the Phone Aid, the PNM Tobago Youth League. They will be doing the hydration center for us. So you do not have to worry. Tobago Sports Marshal, Diesel's Tile and Ceiling Center, Apex Bar and Grill, Heavenly Care Home for the Aged. I told you it's all ages. And our goal sponsors for this event, the villagers of Canaan, Bonaccord, and Crown Point.
All right, thank you so much. And certainly it's going to be a packed weekend, Friday and Saturday, 22nd and 23rd. All roads lead to Canaan, Bonaccord. And on Sunday, everybody's heading east side. But we're going to talk more about that later on in the week. So Ajay, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
No problem. Thank you for having me. Let me just also say shout out to Uncle June. I know he called last night and said I must give him a shout out this morning. So I would do that, as well as the executive of the village council, the hard-working executive.
All right. Now, Ajay, I know that you're an avid viewer to the show, so you're going to be taking us with Share the Live in just a little bit. Viewers, coming up after the break, we're going to head on over to Will I Am. And you don't want to miss this because it's all about Fug Angels Carnival Village, Tobago Music Industry, and Isaiah for Tobago Carnival 2023. So, viewers, this is your opportunity to
share the live, share the live, share the live.